Come on at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vaos, and I also am holy crap, tired. We had a good snowstorm that lasted for like 3 days straight, so I was doing 12-hour shifts again at night. Oh my goodness, I am tired. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this video since it's been a while. First off, Cruisin' AK's got a new video out of him going to the moon in an SSTO, which is pretty cool, and I would definitely recommend you go ahead and look at that. And it got me thinking, okay, well, is it that you can only get to the moon and back with an SSTO if you air hog, or can it be done with a non-air hogging craft? So that's what one of my projects are that I've been working on, is a non-air hogging SSTO to get to the moon and back. And this right here is actually the Mark 1 Luna Star. It didn't exactly make it to the moon. It got to a, I don't know, lunar doohickey. Anyway, so this is the next one. This is Mark 2. It's a little lighter. I figured maybe if I make it lighter, it'd be easier on the engines, make it better, more fuel efficient, whatnot. And this can get to the moon, but it can't get into the moon's orbit, unfortunately. So I went ahead and made a Mark III. Put more engines on there, more jet engines, so it could build up a whole lot of speed really fast and literally just fly out of the atmosphere. And my goal was to get out of the atmosphere into space using only jet engines, just like you do with the air hogging technique. Only with non-air hogging craft, it's more of a directly into space approach and then use the rockets for a good long hard burn to get into orbit. This can make it into a horrible, like an elliptical orbit around the moon, but not a true circularized orbit. This is the Mark IV Luna Star. It went ahead and cut it down even more to its basic necessary parts. Even replaced the wheels with a just like a VTOL kind of thing going on. It starts off with the nose in the air and takes off. A whole lot of engines, very little weight, and this one can actually get to the moon in a circularized orbit. The only problem is that once it gets into a circularized lunar orbit, it's dead. No more fuel. So sorry. So yeah, there we are. There we have it. I'm thinking that the only way to actually get to the moon and back using an SSTO is to unfortunately air hog, because air hogging, the technique, allows you to save a buttload of fuel. Now, out of all of these designs, I actually came up with this thing. It was meant or designed to go all the way to Luna, or moon, excuse me, but it ended up being a really cool heavy lifter craft that could put larger objects or satellites or even small little outposts in space. And I thought that was really cool. As you notice right off the bat, it looks like it's using a lot of like air hogging technique, but it's not. It's got 10 freaking engines on it. 10, count them. And each scoop and each ram air intake, what is that? That's like 2 scoops per engine, 1 ram air intake per engine, and I think I also put like some sort of another type of intake air thing right there. It's not air hogging at all. I wouldn't think it would be air hogging, but yeah. Anyway, you can replace those engines, by the way, with a more fuel efficient aerospike engine, but I'm just trying to get, I just turned it into an orbital heavy lifter, so I'm not like trying to save an uber amount of fuel. I just want a whole lot of power right off the bat, which the engines that are on it right now do a perfect job at. So anyway, that is the heavy lifter. Now, I'm not going to put any downloads in this video right now. Maybe soon, because I get a whole lot of messages every day asking me for downloads. And I will be putting out some interesting downloads soon. But right now, these craft are still experimental, so I'm still working on them. Just like the X4, the 100-ton SSTO that can take... Wait a minute, no. It's an SSTO that can take 100 tons into space. Or at least, that's what I'm working on. As you can see here, this is not the final product. I finally got the darn thing into a type of low orbit. Unfortunately, it runs out of fuel. It just runs out of fuel at the spec of 69 to 70,000 kilometers. So yeah, it's an elliptical orbit. It's not circularized, so it's definitely got some work to do. I've been working on this thing for months now, and I finally got the darn thing into orbit without using any of the fuel that comes from its payload. As you can see, it's a lot of intricate stuff going on inside those wings. Those wings, during takeoff, they flap around and wiggle a lot, so it's some structural stability issues there. But definitely the flying wing design is what I'm gonna start really going for, because it seems to work very nicely. The wings themselves have a lot of room inside of them to put things like fuel, engines, air intakes, and unfortunately this craft has to be an air hogging craft. If it's not, it's not going to go anywhere. It's barely going to be going high enough, let alone making orbit. So yeah, that is the update for the X4 so far. A lot of people have been messaging me and asking me about how that's going, and here's a little sneak peek about what's going on, and hopefully we can get that sucker up soon. Hopefully by the end of this year. Yeah. Okay, next. Now, if you remember from my recent videos, I've been trying to go in the non-airhogging SSTOs, trying to build SSTOs that can get into orbit and save a good amount of fuel without using the air hogging technique. And I like doing that because it's more challenging. You have to think around some serious problems, especially when it comes to running out of air in mid-flight, which is never fun. But when I was working on this X4 and went back to my old stomping grounds of air hogging for SSTOs, I had to go back and look at my original designs, and which one of them was the Eureka. If you guys can remember from many videos ago, the Eureka has actually gone through many stages of redesigning in its kind of evolution towards the craft that it is today. And this one chassis can serve many purposes. It can be a small lifter for small satellites, or small to medium sized satellites, or even you can even weaponize the darn thing and give it 8 even more missiles, turn it into a VTOL SSTO fighter jet of some kind, even put nuclear engines on it to have it go to the moon and back. So it's using this, well, going back and looking at these old designs, I went ahead and thought about building a type of, well, what about like a personal transporter, like a Kerbin space liner of some kind. So with that idea, I did this. Now, if you can remember way back when I introduced the longbow air hugging design for the SSTO that could put a satellite, fairly large satellite, into geosynchronous orbit, I went back to the design and I looked at the two designs that I had. First I had this one, the satellite carrying one, and then the second design I had was a passenger one, capable of carrying four Kerbals and a pilot into orbit. And I used that design to rescue Bill a long time ago, if you can remember that far back. But what would it take to build a good-sized SSTO airliner, or not airliner, but starliner? And so I figured, well, this one can carry 4 passengers. Let me try to double that. Try to do it with 8 passengers, maybe even a larger crew. And so I came up with this design. Now this is actually an old design. A lot of old designs actually I've been running into. And I went back and I tweaked it up and made it so it had a emergency escape pod system kind of thing going on there. But yeah, this can get into orbit and fairly have a very large amount of fuel left over to possibly go to the moon or Duna, or maybe further. I don't know. I haven't tested it out just yet, but its specific design was to get a whole bunch of Kerbals up into orbit and perhaps even to other worlds. So I just wanted to give you a sneak peek on that, what I'm upgrading or working on. Yeah, I do apologize. Throughout this entire video I've been kind of nodding back and forth. My eyes have been kind of half shut, half open. It's definitely a challenge just to narrate. I was thinking about typing everything down, but I figured that'd be a long reading video, and I wasn't really about to do that to you guys. But anyway, alright, well, a couple more things before we end the video. So about a week or two ago, I was working and still kind of tweaking on a rocket design that can take 2 Kerbals to Duna with a small outpost and 2 rovers that they can ride around in. The rocket itself it's got a fairing on it, stock-made fairing, that of course slows down and weighs down the rocket, but I was trying to go for something that looked more realistic with the fairing and sort of all this other good stuff without using mods. Now the first outpost is kind of scrimpy looking. It's got 2 rovers on it that are dual seats. Kind of stability issues, especially when you're going fast with the dual seaters, but it worked. It was okay. It slammed into Duna kind of hard, broke the landing gears, and I had to go back out there and repair them. So with that in mind, I went ahead and redesigned the payload, or the outpost, with larger landing gears, get it a little bit more meatier, a little bit more stronger, and saved some room by putting single-seated rovers with the payload itself, and that worked pretty well. As you can see, one of the rovers kinda is messed up. Yeah, the Kerbal unfortunately was going down the hillside a little too fast, and when it tried to slow down, didn't slow down fast enough and slammed into the floor of the bottom of the hill, and yeah, went flipping around and blew up a couple of times. Surprisingly, the Kerbal survived, and he went over there and repaired the remaining wheels and drove it back to the outpost. So yeah, they still use that rover periodically. Of course, the other Kerbal won't let his buddy get anywhere near his rover for obvious reasons. But anyway, yeah. So this is the Mark III, if you will. Hopefully we can get it to Duna, and I can tape record that and have a nice little Duna mission for you guys soon. Well, that's all I have for this video of Show and Tell. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I am Vaos, signing off.